This we go many years in the past to the rolling plains of Kehassarin, sort of middle of the continent of Galderos. The plains of Kehassarin are occupied by humans, lion folk, orcs, and about 2 decades ago, a a group of adventurers from the mountain refuge city of Rinland set out to see if an old settlement on the plains was ready to be inhabited once again. The roaming orcs would often threaten the various settlements out across the plains, and so Rinland was always the fortress of defense. The orcs were never able to penetrate. And one of these settlements had been abandoned a few months prior, as the orcs were making their way across the land in great numbers, and they seemed to have great power behind them. And among them was a young, strapping lion folk named Retatu Sunmane. And as this band of lion folk and humans set out to the settlement, they came fairly close to the town, and surprisingly did not see the sight of buildings on the horizon. As they got closer, they realized with horror that the town had been utterly destroyed, wiped from the face of the plains. On close inspection, they could tell that some horrific device of destruction had been used, and the blackened remains of huts and buildings stood between 2 and 3 feet tall. All they seemed as if they had been cleaved by a burning blade, and everything from the huts and buildings that had stood more than 2 or 3 feet tall seemed like it just turned to dust and fell to the ground. Walking through the charred husks of the town, eventually the young Retatu Sunmane stumbled upon the blackened remains of some horrific device. All that remained of the twisted contraption that seemed like it used to be a sphere, maybe 8 inches in diameter. There is one reinforced plate where on the inside, this device that must have been used by the orcs after they raided and pillaged this town for all it was worth. Inside that device was the sign of the Grand Alchemist, an enigmatic figure not known to any members of the band, but they would bring this device back to Rinland to be investigated and swear revenge upon the orcs. And Retatu, as the party sits inside Scaldress's mansion there, this old memory resurfaces, and you remember this scrawling insignia that is sort of like a TGA, and you have not encountered that insignia ever since that day out on the plains, until just a few hours ago you noticed it on some of the implements in the heart of the castle.
Well, how intriguing, I dare say. This is probably worth sharing to my fellow party members. He has done such things before. What crazy things.
I guess it means you have a best interest in taking him down, huh?
Apparently, I had forgotten it'd been so long.
That deep memory and resentment and hatred had all but left you, and you had left it with the orcs in your past. But recalling it, you now know the true source of that device of great destruction, and wonder if any of the other times the orcs had an uncanny edge, were aided by horrific artifacts. If perhaps their source was also this same castle that Scaldrus's ring sits inside.
Bit
And
disorienting if I do say so.
recapping the events of last week's session, we'll go back to this map. Mebly and Reditu had emerged from the flickering portal. They completed their first trial with relative ease and quite quickly, retrieving a planetarium and some books and a very large crystal from the sundered lab that dwells beyond the flickering portal.
And a
We
pair of dice.
began. Yes, a pair of dice also
And roll.
was with the books, which actually, speaking of, I don't think Reditu has yet taken a chance to closely examine the books that you recovered from the sundered lab.
Yeah, I think that's right. I don't remember
So,
anything.
yeah, probably keep that in mind as we continue recapping. Sleek and Simuleek made a very impressive monstrosity of an undead with it had four legs and two arms with like pointy sides, arm sides sort of made out of bull horns.
It had 4 legs, a massive torso stood upright, and each front and back half of it had a bull head, one opposable thumbed hand, and the other hand had on the opposable thumb hand had a pair of the horns like the Deadpool spikes, and then a cloven foot as well.
Right. Yep. And yeah, the opposing bovine heads to watch from either side. And so Salik and Simuleek earned their trial pin from Frederick the Gnome in the Arcane Workshop. Kildrak and Current grew a ginormous spruce tree in the Wondrous Gardens there that touched the ceiling some 110 feet above the shelf there. Kildrak also used an elixir mixed with the sacred substance to grow mistletoe quickly, and the two of you produced enough ash for a few castings of Pass Without Trace, and that was satisfactory for Varmod, and Kildrak and Current earned their first pin, while also hearing whispers of the great event, the grand ascension that is planned for tomorrow. And Current first heard whispers of this essence of annihilation that seemed to be in lower quantity than was hoped for. And the druids were kind of muttering to themselves that they would do their own parts and ensure everything goes smoothly, even though this essence of annihilation wasn't collected in the amount that was originally hoped. And Scaldrus, in his trial, wowed Harold at the alchemist workbenches, crafting a splash potion of acid that what seemed to be a recipe designed by the grand alchemist himself. And impressing Harold, Scaldrus learned some more that this essence of annihilation is one of a few key ingredients in the Ascension ritual. And that essence is said to be the blood of the demon lord Obak Ab, who recently died, and with the great power of his annihilation as he died, Obak's Ab was erased from existence, preventing the collection of any more of his blood. In the meantime, Mebly and Reditu examined the lab itself. Mebly watched for hours, but always feeling uneasy, like he could not find a great hiding spot in this open floor plan laboratory. But he made several key insights. He worries that the Grand Alchemist has a capability of casting spells, not even permitted by the weave of magic and Mishra herself. That he might be able to cast 10th level spells, and somehow his heart is an engine of life force that might prove difficult to, as you guys want to kill the Grand Alchemist. His heart and stopping it is going to be key to ending his life. Reditu, in the meantime, dwelt his thoughts on the Fountain of Progress and how, like, it seems the Grand Alchemist wants to use the sacred substance to ascend. Reditu was thinking perhaps he could co-opt some of the sacred substance to make himself ascend. And Reditu feels like the Arcanite reactor in the heart of the castle there is but a reservoir attached to a greater Arcanite reactor below the grand pedestal. And from that flows all the sacred substance that goes into the heart of the castle, into the fountain, and into many of the vast rooms throughout the castle, including the pumpkin patch, and all that sacred substance eventually flows out of exhaust vents on the side of the place. You heard that the castle has a destination, some sort of brine pool, where the ascension is supposed to take place. And you all ended up in sort of dormitories, the castle suites, as they say. And currently, you are all inside of Skuldress's ring, which sits inside of Skuldress's dormitory room. I believe Salik's undead are sitting inside of that room, up next to the ring, correct?
Yep.
So that is where you guys left off. Reditu asked Agma, patron god of the bards, a few questions, and unfortunately, while the intent of the questions may have pointed to greater truths, some of the wording led to an answer of unclear for the first question, and then a couple no's as to whether destroying the Grand Pedestal would weaken the Grand Alchemist, and if the Grand Alchemist's power comes from the castle. Both of those questions came back with a no. So that is where we are at. I would like... Oh, dang it, my dice bounced out of my tray. Nina, could you roll a d20? Alright. Cool. I'll write that down. And yeah, the party has a divination spell available from Mebly, and that spell would give you like a rhyme or an omen or something that may be more insightful than a simple yes or no. But the party also has other communes available. So what is the direction of questioning that the party is most curious about at this moment?
For myself, I'm not so sure. I got kind of stumped trying to figure out the like his source of power, or however that would be
Mhm.
phrased. So
Yep,
I might be
nothing.
more interested in trying to find that physical, larger, like reactor, or whatever that bigger thing would be. That's probably more what I'm feeling, but I'm not sure if we should head out and do that quite yet before we learn more.
Finding
So we're
the
the two.
core would be, I think, the next logical step. I'm just not quite certain how to reach there.
Oh, wasn't there a passage somewhere in this, like, I thought we saw a passage when we went to the dressing rooms. What is it? The waiting
Yes.
rooms? Whatever it's called.
So Mebley noticed acolytes servicing Paracelsion's grand pedestal. Those acolytes often went to the cafeteria door, but also sometimes to the castle suites door. And when you guys were in the waiting area of the castle suites, halves of the party were led up the upward direction, going staircase to the left and right. There was a downward staircase in the center of that waiting room that you guys did not go down.
That's what I would think we would go.
So we just wander around aimlessly and hope we find something that looks central enough.
Essentially, yeah.
We can always just say that we're acolytes who are learning. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're learning.
True. We're just curious of the environment. We're gonna wander around.
It might be interesting to learn if there is a way to inactivate the green substance.
Exactly. That'd be kind of hype. Could
In
throw off his whole plan.
emergency scenarios, what are we supposed to do to stop the green? Sounds
Oh no,
easy.
he's greening out.
So is there any like questions you guys would want to ask in a commune or divination, or are you more leaning towards popping out of the ring and exploring the castle physically?
I think, what was
I
it?
can't think of any questions to ask at the moment. I feel like that's the smarter move, but I don't know.
I'm feeling dangerous. Let's go walk around.
Okay.
Because I know, obviously, if we go out the ring and we traipse around a little bit, then it could make things get interesting real quick. If people accuse us, or, if acolytes aren't allowed to do that and the punishment is death, then that's unfortunate. But, I can't think of any questions that we could ask, like, beforehand from the ring. Unless, like, the divination.
So we want to
They
get
give
real
us the
pedantic
praise.
and ask whoever we're asking, if you were in our shoes but retained your omniscience, what is the answer question that you would ask? Something like that.
That is interesting. That is interesting.
It's like one door guy lies, one door guy tells the truth. What does the other guy say? Type roundabout.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad idea. So that'd be a divination from Mebley then?
Yes. Yeah, do you guys want to use the divination? Let me pull up the spell description.
We could ask, in an effort to defeat Paracelsion and escape with our lives, what is the most useful piece of information we can obtain?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And then if they're like, find the heart, we can be like, fuck, I don't know. I don't know where to go from there. That's just another angle of asking the same question.
I mean, that's a good question to at least get us in the correct direction.
So it sounds like you guys have a pretty solid idea on your question. Now, what or who would you contact with this divination?
Well, we're not contacting Agma, because that's who I tried.
I know Scaldrus had mentioned Bahamut at some points last session. You had also recalled the god of justice, Tyr, as one involved in creating the gates that separated the space at the bottom of the abyss, and generally being involved in some of the events that you guys have been through so far. It's not a god that you have really had much experience with. And also at least with the whole seed of creation thing, there was also the gods Ion, and Pelor, of which Pelor is still alive. Just a good deity that is generally involved in material plane affairs.
I'm feeling Palor or Bahamut.
Who did you guys ask for what to do with the Shard of Evil when we like burrowed it through? Did we ask Palor then?
Was that Tyr?
Doubt it was Tyr.
I feel like you guys did have a contact with Palor at some point for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, mostly like the creepy angels in the void places that were guarding the gates. You would know those would answer to Tyr. And so like through those angels, that's probably the closest you guys came to Tyr.
I think that's what I was thinking of.
I think Tyr then.
Okay. Aye, Captain. A cheer for Tyr!
Wow.
And it's sort of related to the cold open. I mean, you guys know that Tyr is the god of justice, and Paracelsion has committed many unjust acts. So at the least, Tyr may have an accounting of, per se, the sins of Paracelsion, or his atrocities.
It's true. That kind of sells me on him.
Yeah, because that means he kind of has to keep tabs on him.
So, in lieu of Mebly, who would be the character to cast divination?
Not me.
We'll say you're using a spell scroll. I forget what exactly his source of divination is, but yeah, for simplicity, just do a little spell scroll.
I feel like that's all you read it to.
Sure. I can do it.
All right. So I don't even know how long it takes to cast a spell. One action. Okay.
Oh, cool.
Instantaneous. Okay, so you do with divination. There is one material component, which is a sacrificial offering appropriate to your religion, and incense. So together, the offering and the incense would be worth 25 gold pieces. I don't know if you guys would have a particular sacrifice you would want to offer, or just throw out some gold.
I mean, I could probably sacrifice some sheet music. I don't know if it has much value though.
The original compositions, they're priceless.
Yeah, there you go. From an esteemed musician such as myself.
If you wish to part with, say, 1 to 3 like sheet musics of your own hand, I would say that would be a DC 20 persuasion check
Okay.
for you to feel confident that that's like a worthy offering.
I will give it a go. You said persuasion or performance?
Either one, honestly. Performance might even be more fitting. Oh, damn. Well, you have a plus 19 in performance.
Well, if you want to be the lower one.
No, you can roll performance to see if you don't roll in that one.
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, wow, you rolled an 18 on the die with your plus 19 in your expertise and performance.
Jeez.
Yeah.
How many? I don't know how many scrawlings and sheet musics that Redditu would carry on hand, and how many you think would be an appropriate offering here. But whatever you deem.
He carries 3 and then he memorizes them and tosses them out for something new. So probably I'll just use all 3, I guess.
Okay, yeah. So I would say you find probably in Scaldress's mansion there would be a sensor or something similar for uses like this, and volcanics would have use for something like that. So you put some incense in there and some a little bit of tinder underneath your sheet musics, and I would imagine burning the sheet music with the incense. Redditu would be very careful in casting the spell, and probably feel like a little tinge of pain, watching your sheet music burn.
Yeah. Kind of a shame.
And Redditu casts divination. You, as the smell of the incense fills your nostrils, and you complete the casting, the scroll in your hand dissipates as well and kind of commingles with the smoke in the censer. Redditu breathes out, and would your eyes be closed for this?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, you kind of get the vague image in your head of like you're sitting on top of a mountaintop, and you feel a sense of balance. A gentle breeze blows past you, and you feel like this breeze carries birds that are migrating as warmth and life is coming in whatever place your mind is sitting on top of this mountain. And in this headspace, what is the question that Redditu asks the god Tyr?
Wow, it's so peaceful and calm up here. It's nothing like when I'm feeling back on, my physical self. So let's see. I think I would like to know the best piece of information that would benefit us in our struggle against Paracelsian.
Okay. So this is not related to the answer you're gonna get. I'm rolling a die for that. Could you just go ahead and roll religion for me, just for more of a fun thing? Okay. So you receive a powerful voice. It's not like loud, but it reverberates and fills you. You feel yourself sit upright on this mountain in your head, and the voice says, "Okay, let me. I should probably read a certain thing before. Make sure I tell you correctly." Oh lordy. Okay. The short phrase that this powerful voice kind of fills you with, as it is borne upon a wind, says, Paracelsian only allows a select few in his inner sanctum. Not even his most powerful followers are trusted with that role. There is more than one entrance to the inner sanctum, and the entrance hall to the sanctum acts as a sterilization chamber. It would be best to avoid the red carpeted entrance hall.
Noted.
And then with that and your 5 on religion, this voice filling you, Redditu actually begins to stand on one leg, feeling the balance fill him, before the spell ends, and Redditu has to catch himself before he almost stumbles.
You feeling
Intriguing. Apparently, yes.
high?
That was interesting. So there are different ways to get into his inner sanctum. And as long as we, don't go on the red carpet or else we get sterilized. Which is especially alarming for myself.
Is sterilized a bad thing?
When it comes to someone who's a chemist, I feel like that could be a bad thing. Especially when he's an evil chemist.
Yeah, you guys could. Who is trained in Arcana?
I am.
I am.
So, yeah, I would say you two could roll Arcana. The DC for this will be 25 to really understand what sterilization means here.
Oh.
Okay.
27.
And
Salik for the win.
Salik, from your actually, Salik is by far out of the party the most experienced in sort of laboratory settings and having to prepare spaces. You often have to prepare subjects and items that you're going to work on in your necromantic ways. And perhaps one of the first lessons taught to a young necromancer who is going to start working on corpses and working with different potions and strange concoctions that could be a little sketchy. It is instilled in the young necromancer that you should have the spell Dispel Magic ready in your toolkit and use it often when preparing a safe workspace. So that is immediately what comes to mind when you think of sterilization.
Getting sterilized in this case won't affect your offspring, Greta. Fear not.
Phew.
Be more of a worry for someone of my persuasion, who, like my other half here, is magically prepared and bolstered. All of that would fade away. Depending on the degree of the intensity of the enchantment rune, it could strip everything away, or merely minor magics, but dispelling nature is the kind you're discussing.
Good to know.
And about this time, you all hear from outside the ring the rapping of 3 knocks on Scaldrus's dormitory door.
What? Who knows how to use that door?
I think it's for you, man. Better go check it out.
Well, if I leave, everybody leaves. So...
Oh, that door leads to outside. I thought that was inside here already.
Is it inside it, Isaac?
No, this is you are hearing a sound from outside the ring on your dormitory door is getting knocked at.
Oh, okay. We can. Aren't there like windows or something we can see out of?
Nope.
Or is that the old one?
I don't
only
believe you
hear
guys
out.
can see out of the ring. Yeah.
Oh.
Who wants to leave early?
Can I just have my bull monstrosity, like, open the door, scare the piss out of whoever's trying to get in, and then shut the door in their face?
Yes, but you would probably have to be outside the ring to command it in that manner. But yeah, and random aside note, I feel like Scaldrus's mansion would have windows in it, and those windows would just reveal a roaring conflagration of flames outside, and maybe when you guys go to sleep, you just draw all the curtains. But I feel like that would make sense. Just have flames outside in this extra dimensional space.
That does make sense.
Like, I wanted a fireplace at every window.
So yeah, I mean, Scaldrus is the
can-
one in charge of popping people in and out. So, or can people pop out of their own accord? I always forget this.
He has to kick us out.
Yeah, that makes sense. Sanctuary Vestibule?
You can go ahead and pop me out. I'll run interference.
Cool.
Okay, so Kildrak pops out of the vessel there.
Yep.
All right.
Is there any way to see through the door?
I'm pretty sure if anyone
Yes.
gets that we all do, isn't that how it works?
No, he can eject people. It's
Yeah.
everyone gets ejected if yeah, he can
I
eject
leave.
any number of people as a bonus action. But if he leaves, everyone has to leave.
Nice.
So, inside the room there is a pretty large, like whatever those holes are called where you peep through, peephole, I guess.
Yep.
That's it.
And you just like lift, so it's pretty large on the inside of the room and it's a pretty small peephole on the outside of the room, and you like lift up a little hatch and you can peer through it, which actually Kildrak would like barely be able to look through it on his tiptoes. But yeah, so Kildrak is popped out for now. Looking through the peephole, you see none other than Harold, just kind of standing and waiting outside of the room there.
Well,
Harold is the one who was in charge of the arcane workshop.
The alchemical workbenches, and he is an
Okay.
orc alchemist.
Yeah, he is the one who worked with Scaldrus then. And this is the room that Scaldrus is in. Did we assign anyone else to it?
Mebley as well.
Okay. Yeah, if he's just waiting, I'll open the door.
All right.
Does Kildrak specifically know this person's name? I'm assuming so.
Yeah, I think you would know Harold's name. And yeah, that's so
Welcome,
how
Sir
does
Harold?
Oh, hello, acolyte. I'm. He kind of blushes as you say his name right away, and he extends a hand. And nice to meet you.
My name is Kildrak. My compatriot, I understand, underwent a trial from you earlier. I myself found myself undergoing a trial in a different section of the workshop and did not have the time to introduce myself.
Well, nice to meet you, Kildrak. My stint in the heart of the castle has expired, as it is midnight, and I was hoping to take Scaldrus for a chat before he laid to rest for the night, and give him a little more backstory of the Grand Alchemist and this place a little bit, because he seemed very interested, and going into the Grand Ascension tomorrow, I felt like Scaldrus would appreciate a little history lesson.
Indeed, I will duck back into the room and let him know. We were just conferring, as you doubtless know. It is a long journey to reach here, and having reached here together, we decided to share our experiences and decide our path forward. All that to say, I'll be back in a second, and I
Of
will
course.
close the door again. All right, Scaldrus. If he did not hear that, I'll relay that to him.
Yeah, I think
Go
the
and
people in the ring
fish for
probably would hear
something,
that.
please.
yeah.
Yep.
Great. We're all kind of in the room.
I mean, as long as you don't
So-
make a huge clattering when you come out, it's not that strange for all of us to be in here.
Okay.
Just don't act like you're suspicious, and you won't be found to be suspicious.
Don't be suspicious.
You better not be looking at me then. It's my natural face.
Reditu is
Lying.
suspicious at all times.
It's in my nature.
All right, I'm going to pass that along. Scaldrus, go get him.
Yeehaw.
Suspicious.
So Scaldrus opens the door for Harold.
Yes.
Harold has a bit of a wistful look in his eye. He says, Scaldrus, I was hoping to give you a bit of a history lesson about the castle and the Grand Alchemist before you laid to rest for the day, I see. I hope I didn't interrupt anything in here.
No, you can come on in and we can all discuss together. I've been sharing some of the unique history that you told me about, and I think the rest of them seemed like they were very interested in it.
Oh, that's okay. In my position, I'm not supposed to fraternize in the lower dormitories anymore, although I do miss those days. Everyone's so serious on the third floor. But, Scaldrus, I was hoping to maybe sit down with you in the cafeteria and just grab a bite to eat, and then we could admire some of the artwork in the cafeteria and give you a short history lesson. If you would like to bring any of your friends, and you see he kind of glances over toward Salik and Simulik, like he thinks they might be particularly cool out of anyone in the group.
Yeah, I'll bring, we can go down there. Or we can
Excellent.
just go on a walk out in the open.
Oh, well, if you would like to just hang out on the balcony over there, yeah, there's you and a couple companions. The balconies aren't that large.
True.
So Harold will proceed down the hallway towards that far end where the staircase leading downwards goes out to a small balcony. And then the staircase leading upward goes to the second level of dorms. So who follows Scaldrus and Harold there?
Assuming I noticed that glance, me and Simulik.
Cool. And you probably bring your little friends with you.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they might hang out in like the just outside the stairwell there, as the balcony isn't that big. But yeah, you guys all stand out there as the castle is slowly trudging, creaking and grinding, still marching through a great cavern. Every once in a while, one of the smokestacks collides with a stalactite that crumbles and falls down with a loud resounding bang as it hits the castle. And there's various lava flows and sort of greenish looking brine pools off in the distance. And Harold says, well, you were kind of curious in the Grand Alchemist, so tell me, what would you like to know, Scaldrus?
Worst case scenario, you can always chuck him off the balcony.
Yeah.
You can tell Harold's stomach grumbles a little bit. It seemed like he was looking forward to the cafeteria visit, but he'll pull out a bag of jerky with some particularly kind of like fatty meat, and he starts gnawing on it as you think. And he'll also introduce himself to the Saliks. Nice to meet you. I'm Harold.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Do they both say that at the same time? Or does like
Most
one
of the time
sleek
it's just me
says?
talking.
I was kind of curious. You're creating a very dangerous substance. Do you have a backup to, um, and a protection of yourself from disaster from it?
Oh, well, yeah. Did no one give you a safety briefing when you first entered the heart of the castle?
No.
Yeah, no worries. So, you, when something goes amiss in the great laboratory, there are a couple pull handles scattered around the outer wall, and on certain workbenches and tables at the ends of rows mostly. And there's a red and a green pull handle, and you must say the passphrase and then give it a hard yank, and the red one will douse the area in water, the green one will douse the area in the sacred substance. And then, per evacuation protocol, everyone will disperse through the emergency exits. The Grand Alchemist, what's the P word that's escaping my brain? His pedestal will enclose itself and contain any threats therein, and keep out any threats outside. So yeah, does that make sense?
Yep. Yeah, I need some help, DM, on what I probably should ask. I'm struggling to
I mean,
forget.
you can ask
Yeah.
him to start the story where he wishes.
Yeah, he sounded like he wanted to give you some more details about the ritual happening tomorrow.
Mm.
And that would be, I mean, helpful for us, but you can act like it's just curiosity for the Grand Alchemist's methods.
Other than safety, I feel like you're here because you're so interested on telling me the great insides and outsides of tomorrow's event. Am I wrong?
Oh, yes. So actually, we'll put a pause on that for a second. Yeah, I wanted to give you a bit of the backstory as to, how we got here. Paracelsian, of course, being the greatest clone of the fabled first alchemist, Theophrastus, and perhaps the only one still alive today. Paracelsian came up with his grand scheme of ascension to transcend the mortal form and take upon the form of an immortal, and for that end he chose the form of a penumbral fiend. He
Why exactly that choice? That's been bothering me for some time.
well, let me actually pull up the notes on this, see if there's anything super important I can tell you. Probably not. But the penumbral fiend, well, one of its greatest boons is its penumbral disenthrallment, where unlike most creatures in the multiverse, the soul of a penumbral fiend can live on and sort of apparate, manifesting as shadow, and so he felt like taking an immortal form. The penumbral fiend would suit itself to even if his body was destroyed. His soul would live on, and he could, over time, reform his body and continue anew. But on top of that, one of the key components in his ritual was he had the body of a penumbral fiend, and he removed its heart and used a powerful device. We call it the Philosopher's Stone. And that Philosopher's Stone resides inside of Paracelsion's chest, filling him with the great fortitude that allows him to bathe in the sacred substance without losing life and limb. And so yes, I guess that brings us into our the event occurring tomorrow, the Grand Ascension. Well, Scaldress, I believe I told you, and did you give him your name, Garrett?
Yeah.
Okay, and Salik, he is, for one, using this essence of annihilation, which all of these ingredients, of course, will be mixed inside the great Arcanite reactor. And the essence of annihilation is supposedly very key to destroying sort of the old Paracelsion as he ascends into his new, more divine form. And then aside from that, he has a couple divine relics that he collected, first, the scale of a divine serpent. I don't know too much about that one, other than it is from some great divine serpent, and he has that scale, as well as the hood of a saint or something like that. And those divine artifacts will combine in the reactor and fuel his ascension.
So, would it be possible for anyone with sufficient magical capabilities to transform into such a creature and potentially avoid death?
Sorry, are you asking if, like, one of us perhaps could transform into a penumbral fiend?
Certainly.
Well, yes, I believe so. You just need to acquire the body of a penumbral fiend and something similar to a Philosopher's Stone, and the other component of that ritual, which I would have to go and recall what that is particularly.
So, we just need to answer the question, how do we defeat the Philosopher's Stone?
Mm-hmm.
Fellow party members.
Mm-hmm.
I would also ask this person, while you have him here, what the, are people watching this? Where is everyone going to be to observe this ritual?
Mm.
Because we want to know that.
What are you, Mr. Talkie Man?
Walkie talkies.
So, where would be this great event going to happen? Is it going to be on this great stage to show everyone the great power that he is?
Well,
Or is he going to hide away and
yes.
do it?
Well, of course, we are all to gather tomorrow afternoon inside the heart of the castle, and all present ourselves before the Grand Alchemist. The ritual, of course, will occur in his inner sanctum, where only the arc-bound devotees are allowed inside there. But there, inside the inner sanctum, with the reactor and his other components, the ritual will be completed, and then he shall teleport to the grand pedestal from the inner sanctum, as he does upon completion of the ritual, and we will have a wonderful celebration, and we will create all sorts of amazing potions and elixirs, and I mean, it will be the Grand Alchemist's time to truly shine across the multiverse and no longer live just in shadows and whispers, but to take center stage in the workings of the cosmos.
Forgive me if this is an impertinent question, but if he already has a wellspring of life preventing him from death, how is that much different from him being divine already? I mean, such a embedded advantage seems godlike in its own right. What could a mortal do against such power?
Well, I mean, there's not much a mortal could do against his power. He currently lives in a healthy limbo with the Queen of Gehenna, and Paracelsian sort of rivals her in might, but they sort of leave each other alone. As a divine entity, Paracelsian would transform the nearby landscape with the grand power of his transmuting touch. He would create his own land and his own realm, with his castle just at the center of it, from whence he would share all of our great creations with the multiverse.
So, his primary drive for ascending to godhood is real estate?
It's all about that real estate.
Harold thinks on it, and chooses jerky.
What
Yes.
more noble pursuit
When you put it
than the
that way,
real estate market?
it makes perfect sense. I mean, we're always moving the castle around, and it sort of helps keep things secret and whatnot. We're always like looking for a brine pool or a lava flat or whatnot for the latest grand project. But yes, when Paracelsian controls real estate, he will be unstoppable. And he takes a hearty bite of his jerky.
Why the... I understand the castle needs its cooling for the reactor, but why the need to move constantly? You're practically in an impenetrable fortress. I don't see how any living thing, god or mortal, could even approach and enter the castle, hidden away in this layer of Gehenna. Why incessant need to move on top of that?
Well, so actually, young Salik, you see, there are many moving fortresses that roam Gehenna. It is due to the chaotic nature of the realm. Moving fortresses are a pretty reliable way to get around, and Paracelsian, not being tied down to a particular place, has the freedom to vacate areas for any reason, to lay low. I mean, as you see right now, we are underground, and it'd be hard for anyone to really find us, and we're gonna perform the grand ascension down here in the brine pool. But it's more of a I would call the castle Paracelsion's take on a tried and true classic. I definitely could not see Paracelsion hanging out in a keep on top of a butte, like any of the devil lords around here. So with the mechanical spider legs, as opposed to the more like necromantic arms and legs that the other fortresses crawl around with, this is Paracelsion, he says, spreading his arms.
So, he has immortality. He has the capability to create any kind of alchemical solution he desires, and he wishes to ascend to godhood, to be left alone, and to say "ha-ha" to an umbral lady. Did I get that right?
Oh no, she I mean, they'll still be on good terms, I believe, once the ascension happens. Is more of a, proclaiming himself to the multiverse and truly having the power to become a big name, like like Tiamat
Demogorgon?
or something. Oh, yeah, the monkey demon. Yeah, like Demogorgon.
Well, this has been a most informative history lesson for humble acolytes such as us. Would there be any areas of the castle you would enjoy displaying with a tour?
Well, I mean, I particularly love the cafeteria. And, speaking of which, I'm sorry. It's very rude of me. He reaches out with a new stick of jerky. Do either of you enjoy the taste of halfling?
I can't say I've ever eaten it.
The half-living?
Do you carry more, dare I say, normal fares in your cafeteria?
Oh yeah, the halfling jerky and whatnot. That's sort of us orcs around here. We like a little bit of taste of home, and so we actually have our own smoker in the back, and we cook up those sort of things. Yeah, unfortunately, the cafeteria doesn't make halfling meatloaf or anything like that. They don't really cook with humanoids.
Have we seen any halflings in this castle?
If you use true resurrection on the jerky, you might see a halfling. Sorry, that's so bad. I would say probably no. I don't think you guys have seen halflings yet in the castle anyway.
I have a question. What is your safeties on making sure somebody doesn't stop you from being able to succeed tomorrow?
Oh, the Grand Alchemist? Well, I mean, the ritual is mostly ready to go. Not sure exactly how long it would take to complete, maybe 30 minutes or so, but yeah, Paracelsion's always on the lookout. And he is, sorry, I should not speak for him. Some of us are sure that various powerful entities across the multiverse are keen on watching him and reining him in. But I think he's kept his plan a secret pretty well, and so yeah, we'll just have to see.
Side note, Isaac. How
Yeah.
high is the balcony?
What is 6 stories plus more?
Ooh. Perceptibly with my passive perception. But what do I see around me?
Huh? Let me go ahead and roll.
I rolled a 93.
Surely you wouldn't defenestrate a man.
200. You are 270 feet, above the jagged rocks, and lava flows that lie below.
There's like certain death below, right?
You could roll survival.
Yeah, I roll survival.
Can this man survive lava? Methinks it be lava.
Holy crap! What did you rolled a 2 on that?
Yeah.
Dang.
We both rolled 2s. I rolled
I'll
a 5.
use. Oh, where is it? The Flames of. No, that's not it. Charm of Fate.
Ooh, yeah. What does the Charm of Fate do?
Ooh! Yes!
Oh, so you add a 10 to it
I roll a d10
and add it to it.
and I got a 10.
Dang. Okay, so that turns into a 23. Scaldrus sees in his mind's eye this vision, with the swinging of the hanging turrets below the balcony. In about 45 seconds, you could try to push Harold off the balcony in such a way that he would hit a hanging turret as it swings out, and then hopefully either break his neck or his legs. But the real bad thing is this swinging turret would smack him over some spikes onto lava. So then after he has this massive fall, he's on top of lava. And yeah, he'd be in a pretty rough spot.
Okay, I gotta think about this. Are we still in the
Make sure he
area-
has no capacity to teleport or fly.
Oh, frick.
He won't.
No.
So ominous.
Perceptively, Isaac, are we in the area that somebody could hear us? Like, what's his face could hear us?
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception.
I would also, if we're gonna do some nefarious shit, would like to have my 2 large undead bodyguards block the hallway or balcony to us to give us privacy. There are bouncers
Yeah.
now. We're doing this cyberpunk style.
Heck yeah, we will.
So, about 3 minutes ago, there were let's see, there were 3 acolytes on the balcony far to your guys' left, that is attached to the other dormitories. 3 minutes ago, those acolytes left the balcony, and those are the only ones you've seen out since. And those acolytes were grabbing each other. There's a lot of like smooching going on.
Oh,
You're quite positive that those acolytes were going to retire to a dorm room and stay there for a little while.
uh-huh.
Like 5 minutes.
Yeah. So you've got like maybe a minute and a half left.
They're fucking quick.
Luke said it.
Just going after these random NPCs, aren't we?
I mean, yeah, we're supposed to defeat them, both morally and.
Oh, no.
That is good. Yeah, good vicious mockery material.
Exactly. Wow, he lasted longer than Benjamin needed to do in the battlefield.
So,
Damn.
so yeah, as Harold is a big fan of halfling because it's pretty fatty, and that comes with a lot of flavor, and it's the nice chewy texture that he likes. So as Harold is describing his love for halfling jerky, you guys like sort of nod to each other.
Yeah, just give
Yeah.
my
What is the-
suspicious look to Salik. Like I'm about to do something really suspicious.
Salik's gonna cock his head in a very avian way and go, I must admit, I've been around several kinds of flesh. I would rather like a nibble. And I'll walk to the balcony and like reach my hand over to make him come closer to the edge of the balcony to hand it to me.
Okay. All right. So, would Skuldress
Simile
like
is
to?
gonna wait behind.
Makes sense. Would Skuldress like to attempt to shove Harold over the edge of the balcony?
Yeah, I'm
No,
gonna
that's just not.
get a little bit closer and be like, "You're such a nice person, but
What?
we hate we hate everything that destroys like demons."
Actually, we like destroying demons.
So, Skuldress, go ahead with Salik.
That's the lie, Luke.
assisting.
Shut up.
Go ahead and roll athletics with advantage.
Simileak is not only going to be helping, but going to fly down over the edge to stay within 60 feet to perform a counter spell, assuming he's
Wow.
going to try some magic shit.
I see what he meant by no, he's not.
Oh my gosh.
Wait.
He- Harold rolled a 19 for a 22 to
Silvery barbs.
counter. Okay.
Hang
So
on, I gotta
force the
make sure.
reroll.
Before
Go ahead. Oh, so if I click on him, I think.
At 18th level, I have achieved such mastery
Okay.
over certain spells, I can cast them at will. One of them is
Oh my
Silvery
gosh.
Barbs. I can cast it without expending a spell slot.
That's a rude one.
That's
All
disturbing.
right. So
I'm going to give Simileak the advantage.
you force Harold to roll again, and he is going to expend his use of luck. Whether he gets it from eating so much halfling or from another source, he rolls again for a 17. And with Salik whispering those distracting words, Skuldress pushes Harold over the edge.
Simileak
He-
is going to try to wrap his arm around his mouth, and they're going to do a spiraling nosedive. So
Oh.
he can't cry out. He's going to try to just full on, like, wrap him up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll a grapple then.
Now, the shove was successful, but this is kind of a, oh shit, he's probably going to go,
Sure.
Yeah, he also could kill Simileak.
I mean,
No.
he has advantage, though. I forgot.
Oh.
Dang. Okay, so Simuleek barely grabs onto Harold there, and they are diving down towards a swinging hanging turret. Will Simuleek like go to avoid the hanging turret or try to let go of him and like drop him on as he gets impacted by this?
Is it possible to like try to glide him over the lava?
Yeah. You can go ahead and roll another athletics.
Oh boy. $15.
Dang. Simuleek then spreads his wings and glides Harold forward. You see Harold is fumbling around in one of his pouches, and as Simuleek goes over the lava there, where Harold will fall and hit the lava, if Simuleek lets him go, he pulls out. His hand was in the wrong pouch. He pulls out a strip of jerky. It doesn't look like a halfling. It's some other sort of much gamier jerky. And he looks at and blinks in bewilderment. And he says, "No." Does Simuleek drop him over the lava?
Simuleek's gonna use his beak, snag the piece of jerky just to be mean, let it go, and then let him go into the lava.
Holy. So go ahead. Just for the heck of it, go ahead and roll performance.
Oh boy.
This doesn't like affect the outcome. Oh, okay.
3.
So Simuleek pulls out in this glide, and as he goes into a full like horizontal glide over the lava, he lets go of Harold. It was Simuleek grabbing Harold from the front or from behind?
Probably from behind.
Okay, so he lets go of Harold, and Harold sinks down horizontal and does a belly flop onto the lava. And
belly flop.
with some hisses and pops, yeah, Harold is consumed by the lava.
Salik and Simuleek immediately go, "No! Harold! Someone help!" So that it's like, you know, he fell and we tried to catch him, not we shoved him.
Yeah.
You wait for 30 seconds.
Don't be too loud about it.
Seems there is no one around to hear your cry.
Perfect.
Both
Get
just
back in.
shrug their shoulders and go, we retreat.
I can just
and,
imagine Kildrak like peering out the door and saying, "Perfect, now get over here."
we're gonna both fist bump Skuldrus, one on each side.
All right.
Deserved.
What does Simuleek do with this piece of jerky that he snagged?
Oh, toss it in the lava. You don't give a fuck. It was just to piss
Okay.
him off.
He just didn't want Harold to die with the jerky in hand. So, I think that's a good point to take a short break here. We'll reconnect with the rest of the party and go from there.
To see if
Got
we
some
could
Dakota's
do
arrows.
if we could do anything to it, like if we could try purifying it or
Make it purple.
yeah, sure, whatever. Or I have crazy curse removing water that I could try mixing with the stuff, but I only have one vial of it, so unless that produces a spectacular reaction, it's not very good.
You have holy water?
We there is a point where we found a cursed spring that was removing people's limbs.
Oh. I mean, bottle it up and said, "Yeah, we need this."
Well, I took a bottle of the cursed water, and then I took a bottle of the water that undoes the curse, and said, maybe I need this someday.
That's valid.
It is valid. Thank you for recognizing that. Anyways, but if we don't have any of the substance to work with, then whatever.
Yeah, so Mebly has coded a few of his arrows. I forget exactly how many. Aside from that, I don't think you guys have like collected the stuff. If you'd like to go and collect some in a vial or something, that is one thing you could do.
I feel like that would be risky, but I could certainly try as an animal with past traits on.
I mean, I feel like we don't need to sneak as long as we aren't planning on drinking it. We can just say that it's for an experiment.
Yeah, I think so too.
Is that allowed?
I'd be good to go at least try that thought process.
Dude,
Say, hey,
don't drink
you
it.
know,
All
as
right,
we were
Reditu and I
the
will depart the scene of the crime and go retrieve some substance.
I will also
good
join.
Okay. So you all head back towards the heart of the castle and the Fountain of Progress there. See how our tiefling friend is he might actually be asleep. Last you saw him, he was reading some sort of book behind the desk. His eyes don't open. His head stays down when you guys walk past. So you go out into the heart of the castle, where Carlisle is still watching over the Fountain of Progress. There's a new caretaker at the alchemist workbenches. Actually, yeah, a new person watching over every other station. Which I'm not going to drag out new tokens for all those people at the moment. But Carlisle's still there at the Fountain of Progress. So, what do y'all? You go get tongs and a vial, or do you have a vial on hand?
Probably need to get one.
What kind of vial have people been using? Like just glass?
People from the alchemist workbenches use glass vials in glass things quite a bit. People from the Wondrous Gardens use clay flasks or metal containers. It's really just whatever floats your boat.
Is Paracelsian in the middle?
Excellent question, and the answer is yes. The Grand Alchemist is still doing stuff on the Grand Pedestal. Currently, he has a very ornate kind of distilling set in front of him, and it appears like liquid flowing through one tube is getting transformed into like purple flame like looking stuff as it passes by his hand. He's doing something over there.
So let's dip a vial out and take it over to the alchemist workbenches and I am not saying this because I know that I am being listened to, but Kildrek is going to act as if he is just trying to determine the basic characteristics of the substance, which he is. It makes a convenient excuse both ways.
Okay. So Kildrak takes the lead. You go grab tongs and a vial, no problem. As you so the three of you approach the Fountain of Progress with a vial there.
Probably. I will accompany.
Carlisle sees you approach, and she mostly looks at Reddit too. She says, "You three, welcome back to the fountain." She says with like a tiny bow. None of y'all are feeling thirsty tonight, are you? She like licks her lips.
No, we were discussing the course that we would like our experiments to take in the future, and realized that we have very limited experience working with the sacred substance. So we have hastened back from our rooms to perform some basic experiments to determine the properties of this substance so that we know what we are working with for the future.
You see her eyes started blinking more slowly and more slowly as you gave your explanation. She just kind of purrs slightly and says, "Oh well, uh, you be on your way." And she turns her coat. And her cloak is sort of like black, and it's got these like electric green stripes that zigzag and dance across it. And you haven't seen too many robes like hers, maybe a couple visiting the grand pedestal. And she'll go and talk to a couple kneeling acolytes, say maybe in distress or something. She's gonna check on them. So you guys grab some sacred substance reverently, and then head over to the workbenches.
Yep.
All right.
Word.
After uh, what exactly are you doing at the workbenches? You're like, are you portioning it out or just
Yep.
examining it?
Portioning it out and mixing it with different reagents. I don't imagine that Kildrak has too much specific chemical experience, but half of what we're doing here is just mixing it with things and then recording the effect. Is anyone going to come and warn me, like, hey, that stuff explodes when you mix it with XYZ?
You are left unbothered for not very long. After about 1 minute, a warforged that has similar robes to Harold's robes steps over. It appears that he's watching over the area, and he greets himself, or, introduces himself.
Hi, self.
Hello, acolytes. I am Sentry XI. Are you all in need of assistance over here?
I don't think that we require any immediate assistance, although if you have some insight that would speed our work, we would greatly appreciate it. We are new to this acolyte business. We've only recently completed the what do they call it, a pilgrimage? Or yeah, we've
The
only
path.
recently created the path, or completed the path to arrive here. And while we have worked with many of these substances before, we have not worked with specifically the sacred substance. So we are here attempting to determine some of its properties for ourselves. Now, our basic experimentation, I'm sure, has already been done. So if there are any notable results that you feel we should be informed of, if there are any vigorous reactions that have been noted and we would do well to steer clear from, we would certainly appreciate the guidance.
Sentry XI listens, and you see his eyes are these glowing red circular apertures with sort of metal shutters, and it looks like he's examining your workspace. The shutters open and close, and the eyes rotate, so then the shutters go from vertical to horizontal, and it's like he's processing for a little bit. I see. You are working with the sacred substance. please keep in mind when working with a sacred substance, do not ingest. Do not bring sacred substance in contact with exposed flesh, extremities, hair, genitalia, toes which are not covered. And he has this long like pre-programmed sort of warning.
I'm
And
wondering what
Josh,
kind of lab we're running around here where you're allowed to have exposed toes.
you got to cover all the bases. There's a reason they're on Century 11. The other centuries weren't good enough. But yeah, Josh, go ahead and roll persuasion for Kildrak to see how useful of information you can glean from Century XI.
Certainly.
Dang. Unfortunately, Century XI's caution is long, but it doesn't seem like he was programmed to give you anything particular to the questions that you were asking. But yeah, after that, Century XI says, Any other questions, or would you like me to repeat?"
Nothing in his whole safety spiel said anything about mixing it with anything. It was just keep it off of yourself. Don't stick
Um,
your dick in it.
yeah, general precautions around mixing it, like don't spill it, don't inhale the fumes, but yeah, not really particulars of mixing it with
So
substances.
nothing about like if someone's blood dripped into it.
He didn't. He doesn't tell you what happens if blood drips into it. No.
I mean, that's probably a substance that we have around here that we could try ourselves.
Very exciting.
Yeah. So,
Forgive me if you've asked.
I will. Yeah.
Have we asked what the substance is?
Raw power.
No, I can ask the. I can ask Century XI. Do you have any information on the nature of the sacred substance that might prove useful to us?
Go ahead and make one more persuasion check.
Yes, we love the reroll.
Yeah, it didn't load on my end. Oh, okay, a 17.
Huh.
Cool. The sacred substance is the product of the Arcanite reactor. It is perhaps academic books outside the castle refer to the substance as arcane sludge. And he goes on to list how it takes salt water and the like ignition of this arcanite, which is a glowing magical rock that you guys don't have a ton of experience with. That Gehenna, it has many large veins of arcanite, and so that actually is another reason. Like Solik was kind of interested in what's going on with the castle. A big function of the castle is to go find veins of arcanite and mine it out of Gehenna. And so then it ignites with some magical energy poured into it in this salt water, and then it makes the arcane sludge. Was there another part to your question, Josh?
Nope.
Okay. So if you guys do not wish him to repeat or answer other questions, Sentry XI will move on to the next table.
All right. Thank you for your help, Century XI.
As he moves to the next table. Ah, cute acolyte. Good to see you. And you see this acolyte looks really flustered, and you're like, she's like, wow, the robot's committing harassment in the workplace. But anyways,
Programmed for such.
apparently. So yeah, what sort of experiments are you guys conducting?
I want to prick myself and have a drop of my blood go into it and see how
Okay.
it reacts.
And
Organic matter.
the end goal is to just get an idea of some of its properties and how to potentially neutralize the stuff.
Neutralize
so.
it or make it blow up.
Yeah.
Sure, okay.
So, for our purposes, we would just add small amounts of it to each other. Like a drop of different reagents on the table to the substance.
Oh my
Okay.
god, sounds like he does this for work.
Luke.
Kildrak does
Luke,
not do
go
this
ahead.
for work. He's just mixing stuff up and seeing if any of it blows up.
Go ahead and roll medicine, Luke.
Oh god. Where's medicine? I don't know if I've ever rolled this. Oh!
Wow.
Stupendous.
Well,
Okay.
My whole finger's gone.
you're medically
Um,
certified.
Redatu. So you pricked your finger.
Yes.
You stab deeply in your finger, and you flinch, and a sort of small arc of blood lands all over the table. None of it in the flask you were aiming for, and immediately, Sentry XI saunters on over. Acolyte, show me your hand.
I show him the one that I didn't cut.
Acolyte, show me your injured hand.
Okay, I show him the other one.
With his left hand, he smacks your hand. This doesn't do any damage to you. And then with his right hand, he just points and he says, "Disinfect this table immediately, and then return to your quarters. Shame, acolyte, shame."
Okay, do I disinfect using the green goop?
I think that might infect more than disinfect.
Let's. No. Acolyte. From the second shelf on the south wall, the bottles labeled disinfectant cleaner. They have an orange sort of liquid in there, and there's towels over there. You want to pour some disinfectant cleaner onto your towel, wipe the table with the towel, throw the towel into an incinerator, and then head to your dormitory immediately. Shame, acolyte.
I see. Thank you.
And then you see, it seems like he kind of moves around in sort of a clockwise manner. So he goes back to that one table where he was. Cute acolyte, how fares it? And the acolyte just puts his head in his hands like, oh no. Okay, so that does Redatu go ahead and disinfect the table then? And
I kind of don't want to. And just leave. But it could.
All right, that's just gross, Redatu. Come on. At least take this opportunity to put some of the blood in the flask like you intended.
I mean, that's what I want to do, but I don't know if I'm gonna get in more trouble.
We'll talk our way out of it if you get into trouble.
I mean, you make a good point.
I mean, quite
Or
immediately
you'll
after
just be in
Sentry
trouble.
XI.
Our good graces in this place need to last for approximately 12 more hours until the ascension starts, and then we're getting kicked out of here one way or another.
You make a compelling argument.
So yeah, right after the Sentry leaves you, he gets distracted by the acolyte that he wants to harass. You see, Sentry acolyte is like looking right over the acolyte's shoulder during these experiments. So I would allow you to roll deception to continue what you were doing and kind of appease Sentry whenever he looks over your way.
How's a 16?
Let's see how particular Sentry's being today.
Kildrak will go and start retrieving the disinfectant for Reditu.
Cool.
As
So
he,
yeah,
so
you
it
can.
looks like one of us is doing the job at least.
Would you like scoop blood off the table and put it in the vial, or just like pinch your finger and get like a drop of blood into the vial?
Probably, I was trying to be more subtle at the beginning, so the pinch is the original idea.
Yeah, as
So,
you get like a drop into there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it hisses and bubbles, and the substance doesn't really change color. So yeah, go ahead and roll Arcana.
a 15.
You feel like this mixture could be used to heighten magical, I don't know, something. If this were used as a component, it could increase it. And so you think like in the pumpkin patch, the blood in there helped increase the power of that fire that was always under the cauldron. You don't think that the substance has like any tie to you, like it's not going to do ratatouille things, or someone can't like put the vial on the floor and stomp on it and it would hurt you back. But there is sort of that magical accelerant type property that you get the general vibes of.
Okay. As a Kildrak hands me the disinfectant stuff that I start actually disinfecting, I will
Okay.
kind of tell him about that and what I noticed and felt.
Cool. And then Kildrak in current, what sort of things do you do?
Again, Kildrak doesn't have a lot of experience with these reagents, so he is just going to try and take something from. Are these reagents sorted in any manner?
Yeah, I mean they're mostly there's components, things from the component farm are stored up by the cafeteria and close to the component farm. Down on the bottom wall is sort of more there's just like water and all sorts of like run of the mill type mixtures and whatnot.
As well
But
as
Kildrak
Kildrak
is
can determine, he is going to try and take things that look like they have different properties from each other and try basically one of everything.
okay. Yeah, so Kildrak is proficient in medicine. Go ahead and roll a medicine check for that.
Donna. Donna.
I was like zoomed into the bottom corner of the map, but I saw Josh's cursor frantically wiggling over you guys for a second.
Ooh, nice.
All right. So with a 19 on medicine, Kildrak determines that blood seems to be one of the more powerful like things to add to it. You haven't really found anything else that makes a more drastic change with it. But another way of changing the properties of this is to dilute it. And you first notice it with water. You're able to like dilute it a little bit, but the substance is very strong. And as they have talked about brine before, you add salt water to it, and in salt water diluting it seems to really lessen the effect of it. And actually, it seems like the saltier the water, the more it cancels out the effects of the substance and turns it into more of just like an inert sludge or goop that doesn't really do anything.
And then, no, not even and then. So this feels like it is, maybe not a mundane substance, but not not quite as magical or do it all as we seem to have been led to believe. The biggest bummer is it doesn't look like it's going to explode, which would have been helpful.
Yeah, I would say like probably especially with current there, if you try to mix it with like plant sap or something like that, it produces sort of a similar effect as mixing blood with it, and you can imagine probably mixed with some sort of plant juice is how you got that plant growth accelerant that you used earlier.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so Kildrak will take notes like a diligent acolyte, and having determined that there's probably not a lot that we can do to it, unless. So this reactor byproduct, it's not actually involved in the ceremony, right?
The sacred substance.
Yeah.
Um,
Nothing that we've learned said that diluting it may ruin the ceremony, because they're using the essence of annihilation instead.
so Stalik and Scaldrus found out from Harold that it seems like the essence of annihilation and a couple other things are going into the reactor itself, which would be I mean, there would be substance in there. But I don't think you guys would technically know that until you go back and debrief with
Okay.
them at this point.
Yeah. Kildrak will just take notes, and having found not a lot interesting, eventually go to reconvene with a couple of extra vials of the stuff. Like, not making a big deal out of it or attempting to be particularly sneaky about it.
So you take a couple vials out of there with you?
Yep.
Okay. As you guys are wrapping up your experiment, the sentry makes another round, and he examines your notes. Diligent notes, acolyte. He'll robotically pat Kildrak's back a couple times. Excellent work. It appears you three are wrapping up. He looks up and across the table at Redatu. Shameful acolyte. You had best watch yourself next time you come to the honest workbenches. If you act out of line again, I may have to punish you.
Like you keep punishing that one kid over there?
Oh my gosh.
The apertures rotate 90 degrees and then back again, and he like blinks. Yes, exactly like that.
Oh my
Shameful,
god.
shameful acolyte. And then Sentry will like glance over your notes again, and then turn heel and continue on his way. That the so-called cute acolyte has vacated already. So he just moves on to terrorize someone else.
Okay.
So do you guys head back to Scaldress's dorm room?
Yep.
All right. I'll just go out here.
With newfound chemistry notes.
Heck yeah. And yeah, you guys debrief. Anything in particular that one half of the party would like to mention to the other, or
I mean, we'll just review our notes that it doesn't look like the substance will explode. Blood was the most reaction we got out of it. You can weaken it with salt water.
cool?
Speaking
And
of
I'm sure.
reaction,
Yep.
Harold got very overexcited about his jerky and needed to go jump in lava. So he did.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep,
So
he deserved it.
yeah.
Yeah.
He wanted to cook his jerky, even though he had smoked it for so long. Just don't understand why.
See, Kildfresh is much more interested in learning the other things that you learned, like the good job, Josh. What were the thoughts in my head? Oh yeah, the safety system that sends the lab into lockdown, basically. Evacuation and lockdown. That could be helpful for us. Or the knowledge of the fact that the ritual won't necessarily occur in the lab. Yeah, the whole deal. As far as chucking the guy in the lava, could have one fewer obstacle.
Cool.
It was a moment of inspired genius.
So
I'm
with that,
going to question how much intelligence it takes to toss someone off a balcony, but I do not think you are the first person to have had that idea, but I respect the hustle.
yeah, with that is you guys are debriefing. I think that is a good spot to end tonight's session, and next week we can pick it up probably in a good spot to do some sort of stealth investigation and whatnot. And probably Mebley will be heavily involved with that, I would imagine, but actually like figuring out what is this inner sanctum and all that. But I'll go ahead and post my roses and thorns in there. And just a side note, I would like to hand out inspirations at the start of next session. So I'm just letting you guys know now. We'll hand out a couple inspirations at the start of next session, and your roses and thorns can help influence that, whether it's from this week or the previous week too.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Bueno.
Discord was being dumb today.
Eh?
It's like buffering and struggling to like when I have video going, it like drops ping like crazy. Like it goes up to like 40 megaseconds or milliseconds. Even though I have 100 down and 40 up. I'm like, what is happening?
Well, thank you everyone for playing, and look forward to a session where I don't know, maybe there's some like actual excitement. Maybe initiative will be rolled. Definitely stealth checks, I would imagine, and hopefully more of like the party sticking together than it has been. But like
Bold
I
of you to assume that I didn't get excited by Scaldrus and Salik tossing someone out a window.
um but yeah,
So
like
the
I said in the Roses and Thorns, I think this is like good setup for like the fight, even though it is very different pacing wise. I feel
plan
like at least.
the plan is not to get in a fight to make Isaac annoyed that we're not in a fight.
If we don't get in a
Dude.
fight, I'm gonna fire
We
off
are
a withering
going-
bloom. I'm gonna
we are
get
going
trigger
to-
finger.
We are going to one-hit kill every enemy in the entire castle using increasingly ludicrous methods, just so we don't have to do combat.
Yeah.
if
Drop
I
someone
roll-
down a smokestack.
If I roll a net 20 again on the devouring bag of holding against what's his face, we just win. Yeah.
Perfect.
think-
Well balanced
Oh,
game plan
goodness.
right there.
You can't escape it. It just says anything that goes in it gets destroyed. So it's not like he gets destroyed and goes somewhere else. Like he just gets destroyed. It's like
Well,
a wish without having to roll.
Oh goodness. I just hope that you guys fight Paracelsian before the people at Ariadne's Codex release another playtest with another updated stat block for him. It changes stats once again. I do really like the new stat block though.
Is he getting
It's kinda
stronger or
crazy.
weaker?
It's more simplified, which is crazy because he still does a ton of stuff. I don't know.
I
So,
vote that we
in-
keep on waiting for updates if he gets weaker with everyone.
Yeah. That's the strategy, guys.
I will say his hit points went up. I think
Oh.
he lost spells, but
Yay.
gained ability, or yeah, gained like an ability. But
Actually, that's worse for me.
he's
Go back to
Fourth
spells,
legendary
please.
action.
in the playtest. He's supposed to fight against a party of 4. They have pre-built characters for like the playtesting, and they're all level 21 using their like custom